I am fighting a massive battle against thrips. These are a small selection of plants that have currently, or previously or recently, had thrips. I'm gonna walk you through. This one shows the most obvious signs. This is an anthurium. It had these beautiful white flowers, but I left home for a while and now it's just been totally decimated and the thrips have spread to all the other ones. It's not super clear in this light, but you get this like silver streaking on some of these leaves, and that is a sure sign of thrips, and I've just been nuking it with insecticidal soap and hosing it down almost every day to keep them at bay. I don't know if that's like scabs now. I hope that's not eggs. At one point I was seeing them crawling around on the leaves, which was not enjoyable. Yeah, I've just been rinsing every day, every time I see the thrips. And they can hide in little nooks and crannies too, so I've seen them in leaves, like new leaves poking out. This new leaf that's unfurling, they hide inside the leaf. You can't get them. So I don't know if a bunch are gonna like jump out when this thing eventually finishes. If it's even gonna make it, it's looking a little bit sad now. I'm having trouble focusing. This is my Rhaphidophora tetrasperma. This one's a little bit more obvious. Got some little scabbies where the initial streaking was started. There's another one. It's a little bit dusty. This one needs a good hose down. I haven't seen any on that one in a while. And these two, this is a string of pearls and undetermined. This is called like a dancing cactus. It might be a kind of Rhapsalis. And I haven't seen any thrips on them, but they're just showing some scabbing. So because I've seen this kind of thing on plants that have definitely had thrips, I'm thinking this one has probably had thrips. And this poor string of pearls, I don't know if you can see, there's just scabs. Poor thing. This Calathea zebrina, I believe. This is a new plant to me. I bought it a few weeks ago and it had way more leaves, but then I realized that it came home with me with thrips already on it. So I'm battling thrips and now I've got like another influx of thrips. So I've nuked it, and I think this is maybe a more sensitive Calathea, and the leaves have been yellowing and crisping up, and I mean, I don't use distilled water, so that could be part of it, but I'm sure the insecticidal soap has not been helping with its mood. So again, the thrips, they hide in the unfurling leaves, so this cute little cigar is probably harboring them. And I mean, I've tried, you can see on the soil, there's some diatomaceous earth, so that if there are any thrips living in the soil, they're gonna have to crawl across that to try to climb up any of the stems, and then they will be shredded to their death. So that's well underway, so it needs another rinse. Maybe I'll stop with the insecticidal soap and just try to remove them manually with just hosing it down so that it doesn't keep losing all of its leaves. And this guy is a lipstick plant, and it was also, I've cut a lot of it off, but it was also showing signs of thrips. You can kind of, yeah, that leaf there has some suspicious looking spots on it, and the leaves are all turning kind of yellow. I've noticed that sometimes, yeah, like it's not showing any thrips on it, but sometimes the leaves will just, they'll show a few streaks and then they'll just yellow and give up. So I'm still suspecting that this one might have some thrips. And this guy, the thrips seem to just love this. This is the first plant that I had that had thrips that I know of. And they just absolutely love this thing. This is an elephant ear, Xanthosoma something something. It's like a lemon lime elephant ear. And it was huge and glorious. And just one by one, the leaves started dying. Just full of thrips. And then I thought it was a goner. I like chopped it down to nothing. And months later, these two little guys started popping up. So I took them out of the soil and they've been rooting, and I've been hosing this thing down. And I'm hoping eventually I can get my, what's the word I'm looking for? I just want to be confidence that the thrips are gone before I go ahead and plant this up. And this guy, this is a Crimson Princess Hoya. And I didn't even realize that thrips would go for such thick leaves, but they did indeed. And there were like a couple cute little leaves coming in on the end of this, and they were all, I wasn't even paying attention and looking at this one because I thought it was immune for some reason. But yeah, there were a couple of little baby leaves just starting to evolve, and they were all deformed and crinkled up, and then I was like, oh yeah, that's thrips. So those leaves have been gone for a while, so this guy's getting another nuke session. And now this guy, I think this is a juvenile Monstera deliciosa. And I just saw a couple thrips on this. So thankfully it's not showing any signs that I've noticed of the thrips. It has been nuked anyway though. You can kind of see the soap residue on it that I never washed off. So I'm kind of lucky that it hasn't started rebelling and getting crispy and browning and all that. Yeah, this is getting another nuke because obviously the thrips have found this guy. And this one, this is a Ficus altissima. And it got the thrips pretty bad, but that was quite a few months ago. And this one hasn't shown any signs recently of having thrips, but because it's had a history of thrips, this guy's getting some treatments today. So, and there's probably a few more that I should bring out here to also treat, but just thought I'd show a little selection, and I hope that is helpful. If you're wondering what thrips damage looks like, it's very, very subtle, and they're very hard to see. I'm sorry I couldn't show you an actual thrip, but there you go.